And they're away in racing. Jinx up in the air, missed the start by 2 lengths to Rack and Ruin, fastest into stride. Raced a half in front of King's Countess second. Third, Decoy House on the inside of Miss Gear, and a length and a half away last of all was Jinx. Sorting themselves out as they move up towards the 800 to Rack and Ruin, holds the inside. Leads by 2 lengths over King's Countess second. Third, Decoy House. Some of these jockeys even at this point are scouting a bit wide. Jinx, after missing the start, is working around them 3 wide, and this drops Miss Gear back to the tail of the field. Up towards the 600, Bo Agland in front on to Rack and Ruin, leads a half length. King's Countess is 3 wide. Decoy House in the middle. A length to Jinx, who'll be 5 deep towards the home turn, and Miss Gear sees the lot of them. Around the home turn inside the 400, the 5 horses are spread from inside to out. It's to Rack and Ruin, saving ground. The inside leads by a half length, but Miss Gear is looming large. Jinx on the outside, they're clear of behind those next Decoy House and King's Countess, but inside the 150 to Rack and Ruin in front. Miss Gear on the outside, they're wide apart and well clear of Jinx. To Rack and Ruin, the inside, the outside is Miss Gear to Rack and Ruin in front, and to Rack and Ruin I think's won the first. They're wide apart. To Rack and Ruin over Miss Gear, a long gap third to Jinx, followed by King's Countess, and back last of all was Decoy House.
Red light still flashing. Starter has them, 1,000 metres the second here at Port. Souls are back away and racing. Lady Chatley missed the start by a half length. Cravash, one of the fastest to begin with. Eastern Symbol, who works to second. Gold in Mind is third. Followed fourth by Kenny Go, who's on the outside, and even wider was Clangety Jane, and working around them very quickly. Plan B from a wide barrier. Eastern Symbol race to the front. Cravash second. Plan B third from Gold in Mind. Into win next from Snippety Day. Lady Chatley, who's worse than midfield. Clangety Jane is out wide, and a further length and a half back to Matraville, followed by Asagal. Behind those next was River Halo, who's third last. Took a Riskers behind it. Now dropping to the rear of the field was Noble Blue as they move around the home turn, and just in front of it was Kenny Go. They straighten up. Eastern Symbol is wide. Snippet's Day's right, Ladder's right down the outside, and Lady Chatley gets up along the inside. Snippet's Lad put the head in front inside the last 150. Put a length and a half on Eastern Symbol second. Now Clangety Jane is storming home down the outside. Snippet's Ladder's in front. Clangety Day on the outside. Snippet's Lad, Clangety Day go to the line locked together, and it might be Clangety Jane. In a photo, Clangety Jane over Snippet's Lad. Third was Gold in Mind, followed by behind those next was Plan B and also Matraville. The inside was Eastern Symbol, followed by Asagal. Well back was Lady Chatley, followed by Noble Blue. Also River Halo, a long break to Interwin from Took a Risk, and Cravash has weakened badly and was one of the last ones in.
School Dan stands in well. Starter has a good line. And they're away and racing. Came out as one. Hard to pick an early leader. Here the Thunder was one of the fastest to begin with Mistress Dell, Youthful Boy. School Dance holds the rails at about 2.5 to Mr. Lane. It's on the inside of Crazy Allen. 3 last of all was Beat the Street. Inside the 1200, Youthful Boy taken to the front by Craig Rickson. Leads a half length over School Dance second. A half length third. The outside was Mistress Dell, and they've raced 2 in front of Mr. Lane on the inside of Here the Thunder. They're 2.5 clear from Crazy Al next to last. A length and a half last of all was Beat the Street. They move up towards the 800, and Little or No Change. School Dance the inside probably leads Youthful Boy by a half. They're 2 in front of Mistress Dell with a sitting shot. It's travelling on the outside of Mr. Lane the inside, and a further length and a half to Hear the Thunder, followed by Crazy Al next to last, and a length last of all was still Beat the Street. Up towards the 500, and School Dance Joel Walton extends, put 2.5 lengths on Youthful Boy second. Third Mr. Lane the inside. Mistress Dell now peeling out 4 wide. A further half length to Hear the Thunder, followed by Crazy Allen. Last of all was Beat the Street as they turn 350 out, and Joel Walton goes for home on School Dance. Leads by a length and a half. The inside is Mr. Lane. The outside Mistress Dell with Youthful Boy, Crazy Allen, Hear the Thunder. Inside the last 150, they've claimed School Dance. In the middle, Youthful Boy, Mistress Dell. Hear the Thunder is angling through in the centre, but as they get towards the line, Mistress Dell in front, and Mistress Dell has won from Hear the Thunder or Crazy Al. Youthful Boy right behind them, followed by Mr. Lane. Well back was School Dance, and knocking up last of all was Beat the Street. Red lights flashing. Bit of movement in the centre. Stand well. Set for the fourth. Stalls are back away and racing. Fine Dane probably missed it a half length. Kiss of Death, one of the fastest to begin. Raced a half length in front of Kurosawa. Third round the outside was Last Two Men, very wide. Miss Aria and also Crikey close up. Lanisha the inside and a half length back to Be Hedham. Crikey copped a check at that point. Sedan Silk, and on the outside he's a Lumberjack. A further length and a half to Lightning Kenny. Fine Dane, Crikey and Bon Serrata drop back to the tail of the field. Inside the 1,000 it's a Real Charge in front. Hang out 3 deep, moves out after Kurosawa. Hang race to the front. Kurosawa second. Lanisha third. Kiss of Death the inside. Last Two Men well posied. A further length Miss Aria followed by B. Hedham. On the outside was Crikey. 3/4 of a length away to Fine Dane the inside, followed by Sedan Silk. A length Bon Serrata. He's a Lumberjack, and last of all was Lightning Kenny. Inside the 600 young David Hannon on Hang. Put 2.5 lengths over second Kurosawa. Third on the extreme outside was Crikey, followed by Lanisha in the middle. Last Two Ma'am, and a further half length back to Kiss of Death, followed by B. Hedham, Fine Dane, and also there was Bon Serrata as they turn. Hangers in front, Kurosawa the middle. Last Two Ma'am the outside. Crikey even wider. It's right down the outside fence from Lanisha, Fine Dane and Bon Serrata. Inside the 150. Last Two Ma'am gets a half in front of Crikey, B. Hedham and Lanisha, but Last Two Ma'am's a half in front of Crikey, and Last Two Ma'am holds on. Last Two Ma'am brings off a nice few wages to take out the event. Be Hedham second, Crikey is third. Fourth was Sedan Silk from Lanisha, Bon Serrata, Lightning Kenny. Behind those next was Kiss of Death, followed by Kurosawa, and also there was Hang. Well back was Fine Dane, Miss Aria, and last of all was He's a Lumberjack. Stands in well, but Mighty Matter, actually, Michael Squires and Elzabad lending some assistance to Scott Thurlow with Mighty Matter. Zada has them. Set race 5. And they're away and racing. Good straight line away. Short Game, one of the fastest to begin with Mighty Matter, and also there was Raised on Hope. Mighty Matter deep on the tracks, a half in front of Raised on Hope, followed by Like a Cruiser third. The outside was He's Rockin', and a half length. 2 on the inside of runners Short Game. A Wild Child next from Afternoon Delight, and 3/4 to Elzabad, followed by Aladaka. He's Rockin' still trapped very wide as they move out of the straight. A length and a half to Empire Strike, followed by Run and Play, and last of all was Prince of Opera. Down the back, Mighty Matter opens them up. Put 2.5 lengths on Short Game second. Raised on Hope as third. 3 Like a Cruiser, Afternoon Delight the inside, followed by All in the Hands. A length and a half to Like a Cruiser, followed by Big Wes on the inside of He's Rockin', a Wild Child, Empire Strike. They're out by 2.5 over Prince of Opera, and still last of all was Run and Play. Inside the 1,000, Mighty Matter in front, leads by 2.5 lengths. Short Game the inside, Raised on Hope the outer. They've gapped the others, some 5 or 6 to All in the Hands on the outside of Like a Cruiser, followed by Aladaka, also Elzabad. Out deep on the track was He's Rockin', 2.5 to a Wild Child, followed next by Prince of Opera in the centre. Empire Strikers deep, 2 lengths to Afternoon Delight, and a length and a half last of all was Run and Play. Inside the 600 though, and still Mighty Matter in front, leads by a length. He's Rockin' has travelled very wide for the majority of the trip, but is still there and up towards the front, followed by Raised on Hope, and also All in the Hands. Behind those next was Short Game, followed by a Wild Child as they straighten up. It's He's a Rockin' on the outside, getting about a half length in front. There's not much room for a Wild Child. It's almost over the outside fence, followed by All in the Hands, and kicking back was Mighty Matter from Short Game. He's Rockin' in front. A Wild Child hooks back inside it. It's He's Rockin' in front. A Wild Child to second. He's Rockin' in front, holding a Wild Child who lunges, but He's Rockin'. He's Rockin' beat a Wild Child. We might hear more. Third was Short Game, followed by All in the Hands and Empire Strike, Mighty Matter. Behind those came Raised on Hope, followed by Prince of Opera, also Elzabad. Deep on the track was Run and Play, followed by Prince of Opera, and also towards the rear of the field was Aladaka with Like a Cruiser back at the tail. Heavy track, perfect day weather-wise. Starter has a good line. Stand by for a start in the 6th. They're set to go. Ready and away and racing. Mr. Egotist up in the air soon after the start. In Gali Miss, one of the fastest to begin, headed by Striking Time, Majestic Design, followed by Glenrock Forest in the middle, and a further half length to I'm Proud, followed by Princess Badiga on the inside. A length and a half to Resin around Coco Magic, followed by Capella Dark, worse than midfield. Behind those next was Slosh, followed by Get Serious Prosecution. Mr. Egotist back at the tail of the field. Inside the 800 and Striking Time put 2.5 lengths on Majestic Design second. 3 away third was I'm Proud, travelling on the inside, followed fourth by In Gali Miss, who's very wide. Glenrock Forest in the middle, followed by Capella Dark, and also there was Princess Bodiga. A length and a half to Sloss, followed by Resin Coco Magic. Towards the rear of the field was next to last Get Serious with Prosecution, and last of all getting up along the inside was Mr. Egotist, straightening up and at Striking Time, a half length in front. Majestic Design the outside, they're clear of Capella Dark third, followed by Princess Badiga inside the 200 though. It's still Striking Time in front. Majestic Design on the outside claims it. Majestic Design puts the head in front of Striking Time. They're well clear of Princess Badiga. It's a soul-stirring struggle. Striking Time kicks back, but in a photo I think Majestic Design just. Photo, Majestic Design or Striking Time, followed third by Princess Badiga. Next Prosecution. Behind those next was on the outside Sloss, and a further half length back to Get Serious. Towards the inside of runners next was Glenrock Forest, followed by Capella Dark, Resin, Mr. Egotist, Coco Magic, In Gali Miss, and last of all was I'm Proud. Line is set. Starter has the button. Set to go race 7. They're ready. Away and racing, Port Macquarie, one of the fastest to begin, raced a half length in front of Wrapped in Time, Postcard Bandit, Tick Liquor out wide, followed by Flag. Also there was Heresy. Deep on the track was Lifeline Express. A further length to a tray. They're out by 2.5 over Gold Tort, followed by Artie. Well back towards the rear of the field was Mr. Wiz, who dropped third last from Grand Luster and Interpose. Down the side, Tick Liquor scouting very wide, moves out after Wrapped in Gold, Postcard Bandit, the middle clear of Port Macquarie and Flag. The extreme outside is Premium Blue Drive, followed by closer to the inside now was Heresy, and a further length and a half to Gold Tort, followed by Interpose, Grand Luster, and also there was Lifeline Express. Now right to the outside fence, Tick Liquor has found the outside, leads a half over Premium Dry. Wrapped in Time closer to the inside. Premium Dry right down the outside with Tick Liquor, and Heresy closer to the inner. Heresy puts the head in front of Premium Dry. Heresy in front, Premium Dry again, they're wide apart, but Heresy beat Premium Dry. Third Interpose, who came from a fair way back, followed by Tick Liquor. Behind those next was Gold Tort, followed by Artie and also Flag, Postcard Bandit, Lifeline Express. Behind those next was Grand Luster, followed by Wrapped in Time and also Mr. Wiz, Port Macquarie, and a tray was back at the tail of the field. Favourite. It's a terrific strike rate on the wet. Red lights flashing for the last 1400 metres. And they're set. Souls are back, away and racing. Shining Buccaneer, one of the fastest to begin, joined though by Lara Native. Lara Native gets a half in front, Good Chief second. Third was From the Gun, the middle, followed by Shining Buccaneer out wide, and a further half length back to Lift Your Game in the middle. A length then to Superfine the inside, nice and handy also as Nasrallah King up towards the front. A break of 2.5 lengths to Bridal Star, who dropped to third last. Laminated next to last, and Planet Lover is back at the tail of the field. Now Shining Buccaneer sustains the run, works out after Lara Native. Nasrallah King splits them in the middle. A further length and a half away to next. The outside was Good Chief, and in the centre of runners was Lift Your Game, followed by Laminated. From the Gun, and a half length back to Superfine. They're two in front of Bridal Star, and 2.5 lengths away last of all was Planet Lover. Up towards the 600, Shining Buccaneer on the outside, joined by Nasrallah King. In the middle is Lift Your Game from Good Chief close up. Lara Native on the inside, and a further length and a half away Bridal Star, Lemonaded, Planet Lover towards the rear from the gun, and last of all was Superfine. Again, they're heading to the middle of the track. Nasrata King is in front. Lift Your Game, the centre. Shining Buccaneer, the widest runner now, was Good Chief, and also Bridal Star. Bridal Star puts the head in front, starts to race away from Lift Your Game, Lemonaded and Nasrata King, but Bridal Star inside the last 100 is racing well clear, and Bridal Star is going to win very impressively by about 5 lengths from the gun. Nasrata King from Lemonaded, the outside Planet Lover from Shining Buccaneer, Good Chief from the gun, Superfine, who was back at the tail of the field with last of all Lara Native.
In the